Hello and welcome. This is Playing Favorites. I'm Justin.
I'm Paul. Hello.
So we're back, and I have come to force Paul to listen to something that I want to talk about and get him excited with me, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But if you haven't been to us before, this is Playing Favorites. We talk about movies, video games, we do streaming, we do charity streams, all that lovely stuff. Go check us out, like, subscribe. But let's just get into it. I have brought Paul here today to discuss my refound nostalgia and love for the game series Myst. And I know Paul knows nothing about it, or mostly nothing about it. So, Paul, what do you know about Myst? What is your experience? What is your understanding?
So I played the first mess for maybe like 15 minutes when it came out, around the time it came out, maybe a couple years after the 90s sometime, I don't know when. It's a point and click adventure kind of thing, and it's puzzles, and there's full motion videos, there's FMVs, right?
Yeah, FMVs, yeah,
What do you
kind
what
of.
do you what do you call them?
Yeah, they're
I don't know what the
FMVs.
acronym.
Um,
So yeah, but I
Definitely.
understand it to be like a really like pretty beloved puzzle game
Well,
and the
it's
series of
it's
sequels.
special because it was the first game on the CD. So like that was like it's
Oh,
so it
that's
was
its
like
claim to fame.
yeah, so
First
that
CD-ROM.
was why it looked so cool. So like when I
Mm,
was a kid, because I got a computer like pretty early, like fourth grade, and I remember I had like a Packard Bell, and like I had a friend that had Myst, and I was
mhm.
excited to get my CD-ROM drive to play it because that's the only way you could play it. It wasn't on any other format. They eventually like ported it to PlayStation and stuff and whatnot.
Did they really? The
That's
first
yeah,
Myst?
yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
it had
I had
placed
no idea.
yeah. So my recent refound like love of it has been with the catalog. It's the port. Like I'm playing the original PlayStation version on the
Oh,
PlayStation,
okay.
and like
Oh,
I found it on the catalog and the PlayStation catalog. I'm like, oh man, I loved this game. I just kind of like want to relive it because it's like it's just like it was kind of weird and like just had this weird story to it. But I just didn't know like what my take on it would be as an adult. So like you saying you don't even know like the gist of the game or like the understanding of anything. So my reason for bringing you here today is like I honestly am just like, man, like the creativity for this game like didn't need as much creativity as it did. I'm just
hmm,
curious how it would translate to something more modern slash maybe a show or a movie. So I'm going to take you on a journey of what the
really?
story of Myst is. Um,
Okay. Alright,
so
so is this, like, pitching it as, like, a potential
I'm
do you think this
wondering
could
what
be a story that flies this way?
if you think it could work, or if you think it's like, oh, that should only be a game. I guess that's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
That's how I'm
Alright,
going to bring you
alright.
along this journey that for someone that's never experienced it. But
Alrighty.
just to explain, Myst has got 5 games to it. Has Myst one, obviously the first one. Then there's Riven, sequel to Myst. That's what it's called. Myst
The
three,
whole title is Riven, the sequel to Myst.
yep.
Yes.
And then there's Myst 3 Exile, which is like a personal favorite of mine. And then
Mhm.
Myst 4 Revelations, which cameos the song from Sting. And
Oh.
and
Excellent.
and then Myst 5, which that's the only one I haven't played, so I might get to that eventually here. But like I don't think we need that for this conversation. But Myst
What's it
5
called? Myst 5,
End of Ages.
End of
And that
Ages.
was weird because I looked at it. I've seen it. I remember it came out the year we graduated college. I looked at the year it came out. I think that's why I never played it because
Okay,
2025, like 2005, just life was just insane and just could never
sure.
get to it. But they got rid of all the FMVs and stuff, so like you didn't have the live actors anymore. And I was like, it's part of
Oh,
me
man.
I'm sure it was a budget thing, but like kind of
Well, I
made me
guess.
kind of bum me a little bit that they didn't have the live actors because I think that just make the charm of the game. So like the best I can describe to you is like the acting parts of it is
Mhm.
kind of like watching. I don't think it's this bad, but it has like the same quality. The old like fantasy '90s shows a little bit, like the Hercules and Xena and like that kind of
Oh, okay.
that.
So, like, it looks like television, you
Yeah,
know?
like I mean, it's yeah. I think it's for it's. We didn't really have a lot of
Mm,
acting necessarily things in that era of video game, right in the 90s or early
Sure,
2000s.
sure.
But like you got like
Of course not. Like, for especially for the first one, if this is the first game on a CD,
yeah, I think
like,
the actors are
there
just
are there's
I
like
think the actors are just the developers. I don't even think they're actual actors. But to be quite honest, like they sold me, and like replaying it, they're really good. Like something about like the main character, Artist. I always pronounce his name wrong, but he's pretty much the creator of Myst. Like he's the father. So like the story of Myst, kind of go in there a little bit. I know you're gonna be listening. Please chime in. You have a question.
okay.
Is you're in a sense, you the player like suddenly stumbled through some sort of like tear in space. They call it a star fissure, and you just land, and then you find a book appears, and you touch the book. It's the book to Mist. So when you open the book, there's a portal that takes you to Mist, because that's the gist of the magic of the Mist is that there's books that when they write, it's like an art that they learn how to do to
Hmm.
create pretty much other worlds by writing a book, and that's sort of the story behind. That's the gist of it, which you probably would never get until you actually beat the game and do the other ones and understand. Because they show the science of it in Riven. Because they show how it's created and how it
Oh,
works and all that stuff. Because you find out later on a little bit how it works. But like the gist of it is like you go to Mist. When you get there, it's abandoned. No one's there. You don't know what's going on, and you get you see a letter, and the letter's like it's like meant to somebody named Catherine, and it's all about mystery and figuring out like what's going on in the island. And the gist of it in the first one is you find, oh, go ahead, you got a question. I'm going nuts.
first question. I like how you go through basically two portals through space and time,
Yeah, well,
right?
I
At
think
this point,
yeah, like
but
they don't
and the
really
note,
they
and
don't explain like that part
but,
where you get the book
but
that
like
well, but
the first part is like you like step into something and you like suddenly find yourself in this place, and then you open a book and you end up in like go through going to Mist through a portal. My point is, I like how the note is addressed to someone named Catherine,
there's a
even though you've
reason.
gone through two
Because
rifts through space and time.
so I think
Anyways,
I might have said that wrong, but like the book just appears somehow to you, the player, in a
yeah,
sense,
you
or the
said
main
that.
character.
It's just like
Yeah,
it's just there.
and you open it, and you're like, and you touch the page that sucks you to Mist, and it kind of stumbles to you, and then you're kind of falling into pretty much a domestic dispute between this family, and
Oh,
yeah, so like Catherine is the mother or the wife,
okay.
and Artis is the father, the husband, who writes a letter saying, kind of giving you some sense of what's going on and what happened and what's going on in this game. But you don't, as a player, you don't know any of these characters. You never met them before, so you have no idea. You have no information. So then you get a message from like you kind of tinker around with things. The game's about just clicking things, adventure click, trying to figure out solve things. But then when you walk into the library, which is easy to find, there's two books: red book or blue book. You
Oh
find
God, red pill, blue pill.
Yeah. So when you open them up, you get this staticky video, like FMV inside of it, because like the books when you open it have like a little box, and there's like a
Yeah.
static thing. And you find out one guy, there's a one guy that's a little more kind of calmer, a little collected, more like kind of trying to talk to you. You can't understand him very well because it's staticky. Blue Book is the same thing. He's a little more crazier. My friend and me, nostalgia wise, Pete, he's a listener to this. Used to quote
Oh,
these guys a
these
lot
themes.
because they were just like he's like, bring me the red page or bring me the blue pages. Like they would go all like weird and crazy sounding. The pretty much the gist of Mitch is like you kind of like exploring the island, trying to find these red and blue pages, because that's all really the information you're given, because you don't know the history of these characters and who they are and what have you. But you find out that our Artress is the father. You find out these two sons are just kind of gone like evil in a sense, and are
Hmm.
destroying all the ages that the father has created using the art of writing books. Because like you're in a sense finding these other books on the island that portal you to other ages. There's like a science age, there's like a boat age, and they're just little stages in a sense in the game. But the story part of it is like he creates all these different worlds, and there's civilizations in these worlds that get created from his writing. So like
Hmm.
it's kind of like this sort of like, I guess where the thing where the movie television show comes into play is like I'm just kind of imagining like if going through that kind of exploration, I'm thinking like Indiana Jones type vibe, exploring a mysterious island, getting that information, learning the story of this family, and like the kind of the people, how that interaction. Because as you go deeper into the story in the sequels, you kind of learn why the sons get evil, because they kind of follow the footsteps of Artish's dad, who's more evil than them, and it's all about
Mm,
power and control and taking over civilizations that they're writing about. And it's just,
hmm,
the game itself is like a roller coaster ride. Like, and I just kind of envision some of the visuals that you get in the game could be really cool as a movie, as the character you're watching solves puzzles and so forth like that. Because in the second game, you go to kind of, you find out that Catherine's been kidnapped and kind of held captive by the dad's father, and that's why you go to Riven to save her in a sense. But
okay.
but there's a civilization. I'm going to cut off there. But do you understand the gist of the story so far?
Yes. Is Riven like
It's another age.
another book?
Yep.
It's not another book. Is it another book?
Yep. Yep.
And that
A-
like takes you to Riven. It's a whole other like world within itself.
And it's the world that
So
artist trapped
it's
his father in. It's like he
it's
trapped his dad there.
it's a cool concept, the idea of like you're writing a story and that story comes to life and then it takes on a life of its own.
Yes.
Like it's an interesting thought. It's an interesting idea. It's you get into like I could see it as a movie for sure, like the more like exploration and you're as you're saying, like an Indiana Jones type movie. And it could be like, that kind of slow pace, like detective almost, like trying to unlock the clues to understand, finding the pages and or translating them, whatever. Yeah, I
Yeah.
could see that. I could see it working. I could see it being a long series with a lot of filler or a
Yeah.
pretty decent like 2-hour movie.
I just replaying it recently. I just like it. Just there was such a uniqueness to it that I hadn't seen in a very long time, and I don't know if I ever really understood how unique it was when I initially played it. Because to me, I was just like, what, 13-year-old, 14-year-old kid, and
Mhm.
to me, it was like, oh, this is just a new thing for me to explore. But like, I just haven't seen something similar that, because it's big on just writing. Like, you when you're going in the library, there's like, for a video game back then, it's like you had to read like 30 pages of a book to get
Mhm.
clues to solve the puzzles. Like, you're literally reading things. Like, you collect
Yes.
journals and you're like you're like scouring the journal to get a code, but you don't know how to use the code unless you actually read it. Like, there's like kind of unique gameplay mechanics that some people just might not like, because you have to read and it's kind of boring and it's slow. But it is just such a, I think it's just a crazy achievement of video game um design. Even though some of those puzzle designs were like kind of like, it just racked your brain or just made you mad. Like, I was going through Riven, and there's just some things that they do in Riven. They almost went too crazy with the puzzles in Riven. They just went too nuts, where it's like one side of the island gives you information to solve a puzzle that's on the way on the other side of the island. You have to make
Ugh.
sure you're writing notes. They create a whole, there's a whole civilization on that island. You kind of see them running around. It's all FMV, so you see them like actual people running through the game. Like, it's like they
But-
act in front of you. They're like,
but-
you're like, they're like talking to you and acting towards you. You're a person that they take things from. Like, so you see a book come off of you, like a normal video game with an actual person. It's just kind of neat how it's presented. But like in Riven,
hmm,
you have to learn a numbering system, and then you learn 25 symbols for a number. You have to go to a school and you find all the help to learn it, and you have to
oh
like figure it out. Like, you have to like figure out that the numbering system for the number one is just like a line. It looks like a big box with a number one through it. But then once you start realizing that if you turn it outside, that becomes five. So therefore, you can figure out what 25 is, and 30. Like, you have to figure
my,
all this. Like, it's like they
hmm.
create like a language in like a numbering system, and it gets so in depth. And just, I'm sorry, like, I just more wanted to share my excitement of this game.
Talk about replayability, though. I mean, seriously, if you're like having to decipher a language yourself, That is some like Indiana Jones archaeology stuff right
Yep.
there, though.
Yep.
You know, I could see that being almost like an Uncharted game. Like I feel like you could port this idea onto a big game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like
Like
I mean,
some of this could be like like you turn like you change. You could probably tell the same story, but just modify the gameplay of like how you interact in the world and
yeah.
like actually create you as a character that interacts with things.
Like I was
I
almost
could
like picturing like two people get
see a
sucked
remake.
if it was a show,
Interesting.
like two people get
Mhm.
sucked in the book, so you have someone to bounce ideas off of, like in like a visual sense. But like the
Sure.
playing it, it's like you just get so many different like cool moments that I think it's crazy how much they hold up. Even though I'm playing this old '90s game, and yeah, it's pixelated a little bit, but like just um the artistic creativity behind it, like some of the
Mhm.
machines that you go you find and see, and how they interact. There's a lot of science and physics that are implemented, and it's a world that kind of makes sense. I mean, yeah, it's silly, but like it's not, well, silly is not the right word. It's, I guess, fantastical soul, or I don't know how to say that word, but like
Fantastic.
yeah, but like I was just so like in awe of like replaying it as an adult, I guess, and that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like I'm giving love to this thing that I knew that I was like into, because I played all four games when I was like middle school and high school and then a little bit of college, and I just knew you didn't know anything about it. So I just want you, thank you for
Are
indulging me.
you I know that you played through the first 2, and are you how do you feel now having played them? Have they stood up to the test of time since when you first played them? Especially the
Miss
first game.
Mist is easy, and I mean maybe just because I remember it, but it is short. It is, but I, as far as stand up, I don't know. It's hard to like kind of explain that. It's like rose. What's that phrase? Rose tinted glasses or something like that. Like,
Yes. You
you
have a
know,
clear nostalgia
yeah.
for it. Yeah.
It's hard for me to say like, okay, go play this. Like, I don't think I don't think there's a there. Maybe I mean I think
For lovers of FMV puzzle
I would say
CD-ROM games.
I would say play the probably there is a refreshed version of it. So like I would say as a person, because it came out in 2014, there's a VR version, because I know you have VR. So like that would be, I heard that's great in VR. So
Okay.
but like it is very tough playing on the PlayStation controller. Like I kind of wish I had the mouse again, because that's how I grew up playing it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah. I bet.
it's very slow. It's very annoying. Especially Mist, not so much. Mist I thought was fine. Playing through it again, I didn't really get too annoyed. But when I went through Riven's like port, it was just like it actually still would have the thing where like eject your disc and put your disc back in, like because you had to like in the original version there was multiple discs, so when you went to different islands in Riven, because
Oh
Riven's like
my
multiple
gosh.
islands, you had to keep like taking your disc out and putting new discs in. Like it's like
Oh my gosh.
you had to
That's awesome.
and it's like the port of the PlayStation 5 I'm playing it on is still mimicking that. So it's like, do you want to save? Because you have to put disc, you put disc 3 in. It's like, oh,
You have
okay.
completed disc 2. Prepare for disc
Um,
3.
I did rewatch Miss 3. I don't know if I think I shared that with you,
Yeah, you said that you
because
watched
my
it.
daughter got all sucked into it. She was watching me play this game. She was enthralled. They just like were just like, because it's all about like interacting with gear to like make this thing flip, and it's like you're
Yep.
just kind of like, it's just sort of just like, I don't know if you've ever watched like just like watching those like the marbles like fly down like different contractions, and
Sure, it's
things
like
like,
you're trying to play with certain things to see how they interact and
yeah,
then do
because
the
you're
right
trying to make
sequence.
the water
Yeah.
drain so you can go down, you can see that there's a stair
Yep.
there, so you can't,
To
and
save the
it's
king who's getting, eaten by bears.
but like it's just something about that, and then eventually like the payoff is like either you get a movie from a character, like a an actor, or it's like a roller coaster ride, like those like where you kind of just like are in a seat and then you're just like going nuts. Like there's a whole level in Myst 3, for example, where you like the whole level is like a pinball machine, and
Oh,
like the
nice.
whole island is like pinball, so you're like interacting like you're trying to make the pinball go the right way, like these balls, and
Oh,
after you connect and you fix the whole island, you go into the pinball and you do the whole course inside the pinball and it's like a roller coaster. It's like it's stuff that's what you live that's what you do Myst for is for those payoffs, I guess. Because it's just they're
Ah,
visually cool. Like just to kind of experience that like, oh, like that's opening, or I'm going through this, or I'm writing this thing. Like it's like you think about when you're a kid, like you didn't get to see those types of visuals in a video game setting. Like now it's
no.
like whatever. It doesn't really games do that all the time, but like you watch it from a nostalgia and just kind of understanding when it was made. It's like wow, this is cool. And then it's like you got these actors kind of popping up once in a while. I told you the actor that was in three from the guy that played Chucky. So they actually got like
Yes,
I forget his
Brad
name,
Dorff.
Brad Dorff. So like
Brad Dorff.
the story of that one, it's about so I said the brothers would go to these ages and just they didn't listen to their father's teaching and they would just like kind of just take over everything, just steal everything. Like one guy was more about steal
They're like fantasy worlds, right? And then these guys are just like, hey, we'll just go
yeah, we're
mess
just gonna
around
pillage.
in here.
They're just gonna pillage
We'll
it.
just do whatever the hell. We'll take over. We'll make ourselves kings here.
Yeah. So there's a guy that's like been
Yeah.
left stranded. He's lost his civilization. He's lost his family. Everyone's been destroyed, and he finds a way to like get revenge because the brothers destroyed his civilization. So he infiltrates Partridge's
Hmm.
house, steals a book, and then you go off and like try to stop him. But then you realize like at the end you kind of find a way to save him and recover the book and all that stuff. Like that's. But then he's like trying to teach you a lesson because he thinks that you're Artress, not you, and
Okay.
he's like here, look what this is what your sons did, this is what your sons did. He's like showing the horrors that you did as you're going through this
Ugh.
these worlds and ages. And then like the fourth one is there's like another daughter that's born, so you meet this other girl character who gets kidnapped from the brothers who are still alive because Arthur's couldn't get rid of them. He puts them like into like rehabilitation ages to like try to like redeem them and make them better people, but they don't become better
Oh
people.
no, they just
Yeah, but that's another whole. But I just wanted to share this with you because I just thought that it was very unique replaying it, and I think you. I don't know. Like, is there anything else you have questions
well,
on?
no, okay, yes. I have a couple questions here. Slow your roll here. You're trying to transition away before I can scrutinize this too closely. I'm just going to ask a couple questions. Number one, just a couple two tree questions. Number one, so this is a game, if I'm correct, that's built on the do this complex puzzle and you get a cool video reward,
Kind of, yeah, for to a degree, yeah,
which which is a whole genre of games from our youth.
sure.
Uh, there's a lot of this where it's like I just want to see this thing happen.
Hmm.
So I'll put up with this whatever puzzle BS to get to that goal. Okay. Number two, besides Brad Dorff, any actor or somebody we might know
No,
play in any of these Myst games? Okay.
I don't know the girl character, the wife. You meet Catherine eventually. I don't know if she's a big. I just knew that Brad Dorff was kind of the one well known character because like you have Artress,
Okay.
who's like the original. He's in the original game throughout all the games. And I think he's one of the. I don't think he was just an actor they hired. I think he was just like random developer. I think they. I did read that. I'd have
Like
to check.
the script supervisor.
Yeah, like I don't know, like, and I think the brothers they make a reappearance. Like the girl is an actress in the game, but there's no one famous by any means. I think Ribbon and Mist made it big enough to get Brad Dorf, which is not like a huge get, but like it's something, right? It's like and like you like I think you made a comment when I talked to you on the side about this. It's like he would do something like that. Like that's just who he is. But I don't know. I think the acting that they do have in it is it's service. It's good. Like it's not by any means like cheesy video game voice acting. You know what I mean? Like it's
No, no,
like
it's not too.
they're trying. They have a vision. I feel like it's got like they understand the world they're trying to create and the story they're trying to tell. I'm not trying to say they're like it's like the best acting in the world. You got to put it with a grain of
No,
salt. But like
of course, of course.
it's all you need for this game, especially for the time it was made. And I'm also putting that in perspective too as well. Like we didn't have Last of Us and
So
things like that back then.
yeah. What would you like to see done next with Myst? I guess would be my last question for you.
I'm wondering.
You who have
Yeah,
experienced this and you're played the games, you've watched through. What would you want to see next of Myst?
I don't know. Like, I feel like I don't know how you would do more with it. Like, I know they're remaking them. So like Riven remake came out last year. So I know
Okay.
they are going through remakes. So I don't really know as far as additional storytelling. I'm
But yeah,
not.
like what do you want? Like what would you want to see? What would you want to like beyond just another game? Like would you like to see a movie? Would you
I
like to
don't
see
know.
even if it was like a Netflix movie or a
Honestly, I'd be
series?
curious because like when you start Mist, like when you get to Mist in the beginning, like the library is burned, and so therefore you only have X amount of books remaining, and the brothers burn a lot of the books, so those are all the ages destroyed. So like it'd be interesting, I guess, if to do a prequel of maybe like as one of them or a different person
Like
exploring
their story?
all of these other ages and stuff. Like I know there was like it's funny enough, like they wrote a book, like an actual novel you could buy, and they had like a prequel story
Oh.
written. And I bought it, but never read it. Like that's on me. Like, but I
Hmm.
was that's how much I was into it. Then I just was like, oh, they made a book. They made a Miss book. I just saw. I remember like seeing it like whatever bookstore we had in Utica at the time. Like,
Nice.
but uh, but yeah. So a prequel would be cool. I guess you could do just a other story of just I'm not really sure where you would go from with it from here. To be quite honest, I think the story itself is serviceable, and I don't think I didn't watch the last. I didn't see the last game where they took it either, so I don't know what happens at the end technically. But I just wanted to share my nostalgia.
Do you think there's any room for this kind of game still? Like this kind
Well,
of
I think a lot of the elements are kind of put in other games a little bit, like. But I know, like, there's a new game that just came out that's sort of similar. It's called like Blueprints, and I've seen like the game, like The Witness, is sort of like an homage to
Mm,
Myst. It's just a lot more logic and like more. There's like the puzzles are very different. So I think if they fleshed out and made really good graphics and the mechanics and moving around, because that's the one thing Myst did better later in games is like the third game versus just like clicking for every single image. Because that's Myst is like you click here and then you move down the bridge a little bit and then you click again. It's a bunch of photos just fading,
yes, the series that I do remember.
where Miss 3 made it where it's like you moved photo wise, but then you could spin around in a circle, like you got a 360 view. So like it kind of added. That's why I think I liked 3 so much because it just like it made it less annoying to like move through this everything. It's like
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
love it to be like more. I guess I'd be curious to make it a bigger area, like not these short contained things, and almost like I guess like an open world version where you're stumbling on things and you're finding
Mm,
books of the world that would take you to other. I mean, maybe something like that, but I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know.
where you're not it might not be like a first person, but more third person, like you're a character that ends up there and you're like like actually controlling the person who is going through this
Yeah,
instead of
maybe
just
the first person's nice
like
though. That view, I think it needs a little bit of the mystery and story behind it.
sure, it
Yeah,
might like change, like when you engage a puzzle, your view could change. I'm just
sure.
saying.
No,
If you want to if you want to tell that story, then you need to show the character and show their journey a little too as they discover. But yeah, it would be interesting to see like Final Fantasy Mist Rebirth, like a version in the future
like another
that
like an actual true remake, not just like
like
not like a gloss up.
recasts it, like redoes it, in a
Yeah.
way. You're playing through Mist, but it's different, and like the way you play it is different, but there's still elements of the
Mm,
original game, the puzzles that make it, that
yeah.
connect both. You could do it if there is that kind of like desire for it.
I think that
So I don't know.
I mean, I think now it's like is a great time. I think people are willing to dive into indies more than ever before. I think there was a phase where games like Myst wouldn't really work in like the 2000s or later on. But I think now, like, I mean, we talked about it. It's like there's just so many genres of games now. Like, I think if you made another Myst, it would do well. I just don't know what you would do differently about it, except for just expand on it, I guess, and just make it prettier and make the
Sure.
puzzles a lot more like, I mean, maybe just more bombastic. Like, because Riven tried to be that way, and I think they could just it's almost do Riven better, but have
Oh,
a more. It's not like Riven's bad. It's just hard and like it's. I had to use the strategy guide again. I just kind of took it as like when I played Riven the first time. I was a kid and I just didn't know what I was doing, but it's a hard game. Like the things about Riven, I want to just tell you this before I go. It's like there's a part I remember, and when I got it to again when I replayed it, and it just made me just like once I figured out what I was doing wrong, I'm like, this thing happened to me when I was like in middle school. Like Jesus, it's like so there's like this part.
oh, when you do the same problems.
There's this
Yep.
part in the game, and it's like I was like all excited because I finally figured out something I could figure out. Like it was like cool, like because in Ribbon you're just like kind of stumbling on areas on islands. They're all like interconnected, and it's like you're not really traveling to other ages as much until later in the game. But anyways, like you just find like these like machines and like these contraptions, and you have to learn how they work and what they do to like kind of get to the next section. You have to like kind of use these things to get to it. But anyways, I get to
Okay.
this part in the game where it's like you open the door up, you walk in, and it's like I had done this big puzzle thing, and I figure out how to go like turn the furnace off, empty the water, and then there's a pipe, and then you go into the water pipe and you go through the pipe, and then you get out the pipe at the other end, and it allows you to go walk
It's like
around and
Shawshank Redemption.
yeah, it's like you find all these like secret entrances and stuff, and it's like I walk into this room, I'm like, oh cool, new place, and it's like I see this like contraption that looks like you put bait in it and it goes down. And it's like, all right, nothing happened. Like, what do I do? And I walk back out, look around. I'm like, what the hell do I do? I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know where to go. I like, so you see that you can walk back to the furnace. So you walk back to the furnace. I'm like, well, I already did everything here. So I go back to the room, look at the thing, try to do the machine thing like a few more times. And then I'm like, what the hell do I do in this game? And so you look at the strategy guide and it's like, go back to the door that you opened, close them. So because you open the door in to the thing, it blocked the two entryways because the doors block the view of them. So like when you walk back out, you don't see that there's side things. So you just have to like say, "Oh, game, close the doors for me," so you can look behind the doors
Please,
and see that.
Zargon, please close the door.
But like,
Pretty please.
I was just so freaking mad. It's like then it's like, oh well, how
It,
do you? Yeah, it's like you don't even know
I
what.
can't see the dried meat hanging on the wall behind the door.
And it's like then you get like through the whole bunch of sections and then you get to a bridge. It's like, wait, how do I get off? How do I get this bridge down? You find out if you don't go to a certain spot in the beginning of the game, you just don't find it. You can't get the bridge down because you didn't turn the steam valve. So now I have to walk all the way back to the beginning of the game by taking transports
Uh,
and all this stuff. And you can't teleport. So it's like,
to do this.
yep, and then they go back. Like
I just
it's
picture you like airplane, train, bus, car, and then you, and then airplane, plane,
yeah.
back, bus,
But
back to get.
But no, it's such a cool experience. I would say give it a shot if you have it available to you. But like
I would try the first one.
Ribbon, I feel like it's man, I love just showing Ribbon because Ribbon was just like such a big jump in graphics. Like I almost like wish
Oh,
Ribbon looked like or Mist looked like Ribbon.
okay.
That's like how I because just they put so much time and effort into making civilizations and like the writing and like the creatures and they added more life to the world. Like you have like actual like animals that they designed, you have like a civilization that's there, where Myth is really kind of like sort of empty. It just you don't really get a
Yeah,
lot of like because it was made in 1993 like great like it's like
that is pretty crazy.
so
Well,
yeah
thank you for sharing.
that's what I wanted to bring up today, and thank you for indulging.
Oh, anytime, anytime. Any old video games with FMVs, I'll talk about them. That's good stuff right there.
All right.
All
Well,
right, Justin.
if you like Myst, let us know what you think about it in the comments here. Otherwise, this has
Have
been
you
playing.
played Myst?
Otherwise,
Have you played Myst? Do you know someone who has played Myst?
have you? Do you
It
know where the
sounds
Do you know where the red pages are? That's the big question. Do you know where they are?
okay.
You got to know where the red pages and the blue pages. Fun fact:
Got it.
you can beat Myst in 15 minutes.
If you know where everything is, you just
Like, because at the end, it like you do everything. It's like you give all the blue pages and the red pages to the brothers, and they give you a code that they say go to page 153 and copy that code over here, and then you can just do that if you know it before you start
oh,
when you start the game.
you can just go right over and
Yeah,
enter the code.
yep, and it just does what it needs to do. Because like, yeah,
Uh,
yeah, it's fun. I don't know if they fix that for the remake,
uh,
but
I'm gonna look into some of these. I want to see the FMVs. That's what's got me interested. I
yeah,
want to see
like
this.
just check
I
them
want to
out.
see
Like
this
it's
actor.
they're entertaining. Like I mean, they were entertaining back then, but it's just cool to see it again and just re-experience it. And again, it's
And
all nostalgia.
now since I've finished watching Andor, I can go back to watching my bad stuff that you were always so reluctant to watch with me.
All right, well, you get to that. This has been playing favorites. I'm Justin.
I'm Paul.
Bye
Bye.
bye.